What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here of Tobacco Talk Media, and I have got the newest 23-liter wood grain thermoelectric humidor from NeedOne. Let's check it out together. What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here. Let's dive into this. Let's see what the new 23-liter thermoelectric humidor from NeedOne in wood grain looks like. It's about 150 capacity cigar humidor. I've got the black edition of this that I've had for well over a year and absolutely loved it, been rock solid. But let's see if the wood grain one has any different features, what it's like, how it comes, and what you need to do to get it all set up. All right, comes actually really nicely encased in all this styrofoam. They used to have just sort of like the four walls around it kind of thing, and now it is much, much more securely packaged, which I really like. Let's keep going. Ready for the big reveal? Here we go. Look at this. Now I'm going to have some B-roll and stuff, so don't worry, you'll see it up close. Wood grain, look at that right there. Very, very nice, very pretty. You can see right there. Let's open it up and see what it's like inside. So right off the bat, a couple things that I noticed. One, the wood grain is just a layer on it, if you will, like if you were to do a wrap or anything like that of a coating on something. That's exactly what this is. Obviously, this isn't genuine wood grain on the outside of a metal box. That would be a little bit interesting to have like a cabinet around one of these, so it doesn't make sense. So that's what they've done, and you can see the really nice wood grain right there. A little bit of glare to it. But I really like that. Couple things that I noticed right off the bat. So right here, if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that right here on the other ones, there's an up, down, or an up arrow, a down arrow. Let's see if I can do it backwards. Up arrow, down arrow, and then obviously the light button is right there, and it says NeedOne. But there's a big difference on this one. Can you all pick it up? If you look in here, you can see, you can actually view inside the humidor. So the smoke finish or the mirror finish that the other units, their 23 liter, their 48 liter, and their, I think it's 18 liter, all of those units have the dual pane smoke finish on them, which I like because UV, darkness, all those kinds of things. But one of the things that I did point out when I did review the 23 liter originally was that I wish when the light was on you could see more. I don't know what the light situation is inside this one, so let's get into it and continue to peel down the layers of the onion, if you will, and see what this is like inside. Here we go. Established in 2021, NeedOne is dedicated to improving customer lives with professional and high-quality products. Their new wooden line, specifically available in the 23-liter and 48-liter capacities, now include additional upgrades. From a larger and brighter light to semiconductor thermostatic systems that make sure your cigars are kept cooled and heated to the proper temperature while ensuring it stays a 360-degree frost-free cooling zone. Additionally, this unit features a dual-paned clear glass door, making it easy for you to look inside and view your cigars. The two shelves and the tray inside this 23-liter unit are all made of beautiful, genuine Spanish cedar. The aroma of Spanish cedar envelops you as you open this humidor, and the ability to move around and adjust where each tray and shelf is located makes this the ideal humidor to meet your cigar storage needs. All right, so we've got the door here. It opens a little more than 180 degrees. We've got some styrofoam there and there. And we have, as usual, the instruction manual right there for you. We'll get to that in just a few minutes here. But we've got one of the cedar trays. We have two cedar trays, or shelves is what I'm going to call them, because this is actually a tray. So this is the tray that comes with it, and then on the front, as they do with all of theirs, you can see that there is the digital hygrometer that is right there zip tied in, and the seasoning tray right there. So with this tray here, I do like, if you take a look here, you can see that there is the lip on the upper end. I like that a lot because it means that the tray actually slides into the grooves, and I'm doing this completely blind. Hey, there we go. slides right into those grooves so that it is actually held, so it can go on any of the 3 different grooves for holding either the tray or the shelf, whichever your configuration is. I like the flexibility in that. I like that a lot. So let me get the unit plugged in. Let's take a deeper dive into it, go inside, see how the settings work. Is it different? Is it the same? So here we go. Okay, I've got the unit plugged in. As you can see right up here, it says 72 degrees. There is the temperature up, temperature down, and the light. So if we go up here, which I've done for all the other ones, 54, 55, let's see what it will go up to so that you know what the full range is on this unit. 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is the warmest you can keep this thermoelectric humidor. And if we go down now, probably going to go down to the 54, which is where it started at, but let's see. Yes, 54 degrees Fahrenheit. That is where it will bottom out, and the coolest you can keep this humidor here. It did just kick on. I love these because watch, listen, you're not going to hear a thing. It is beyond a whisper quiet. That is one of the things that I love about the NeedOne units. So, as far as the light, so there is definitely more light being emitted by this. It's not shining on the sides, which again, once you get the top shelf filled up, you're not going to be able to see much down below. But I will give NeedOne some credit. They have at least taken one step closer to being a little bit clearer to see what's going on, a little more ambient lighting inside. So with that here, we now know that we've got the temperature, we've got the up and the down, as far as the range adjustment for the temperature zone that you want, or the temperature setting that you want to have this set at. We know that the light is on and all of that. I love this clear glass look. I love the smoked look because there's a classiness to it. But with the wood grain on this one, honestly, I really like the fact that they went with a much more transparent or just clear glass view. There is maybe just a hint of a little bit of a tint to it. It's probably just my imagination looking at it, but it is much clearer and a very simple, easy way for you to see what is inside your humidor. Okay, so let's talk about this unit a little bit. So if you're familiar with any of the other NeedOne units that I've reviewed, this is going to be very similar. But I do like the display on the outside that you just saw a second ago. The really nice thing about it is there tends to be a user like pain point when it comes to thermoelectric humidors of like what's the temperature inside? How do I know what's outside? What's the difference? Because some thermoelectric humidors that are on the market right now, they don't show you what the temperature inside your humidor is. It just shows you what it's set at. So there can be a difference between what's inside and outside. I can tell you from this unit here, as well as other NeedOne units, that what temperature you see on the display on the front, towards the top part of that door, that is the actual temperature inside your unit. So if you have it set anywhere different than that, it's going to show you basically where you're currently at, and then as you work your way to that temperature setting. So just be aware of that. There are some people that will set that and they'll think, oh, that's what the humidity is set at. It's not. It's the temperature. Some people will say, oh, well, that's what I set it at, and it never moves from there. It's doing awesome, or how come it never moved from where I thought I set it, or whatever the question may be. That is what the current temperature inside your unit is. But as you saw by hitting the up and down, or on this generation, the plus sign and the minus sign, that will let you know what you are setting it at. Let it rest for about 3 seconds. It'll beep, and then it'll set it. It'll go back to showing what the current internal temperature is, and then it'll work its way down towards that cooler temperature that you set the unit at. So one of the other NeedOne units that I reviewed is a heating and cooling one. The 48 liter that I have is heating and cooling, and it works phenomenally well. I set it to stay at 64 degrees year round, and it does not budge. It keeps it right there. I absolutely love that. This new generation with the wood grain finish on it does have that same cooling and heating feature to it, so you can set it where you want it, and it will heat it up a little bit if it gets beyond the lower threshold, if you will, of the temperature, but it will also cool it down if it's above that. So it's got its own thermostatic regulator in there, which makes sure that it doesn't get too cool and it doesn't get too warm, which is a beautiful feature to have, especially if you live in areas where it gets very hot during the summer and very cold during the winter. Great feature. I absolutely love it, because one of the areas that other brands don't always do is the heating element as well. And let's face it, if you're in a part of the country where it gets cold during the winter, and whatever room you've got your cigars in, if it's your, smoke shed, your man cave, whatever it is, and it gets down into the 20s and 30s, well, you don't need to worry about cooling off your cigars. Obviously, you want something that's going to heat it up. And so this thermostatic feature inside this unit is exactly what you want to purchase, so that it benefits your cigar collection and making sure that it stays at the optimal temperature. Also, like with the other NeedOne units that I have reviewed and that I still own, that I absolutely love, um, there's genuine Spanish cedar trays. You saw the two shelves that I pulled out, as well as the one tray. One thing that not a lot of people know is you can actually go onto Amazon and you can purchase additional trays. The not just the little shelf, but the actual bucket tray. You can actually purchase additional ones that fit into this size unit and convert all of them so they're the trays, or the drawers, if you will. Um, Total game changer. Makes it easier to hit the capacity within the humidor, and it makes it very easy so that the cigars don't roll off the shelf when you're going to slide out the tray and or the shelf and look and see which one you want to enjoy. So Spanish cedar, genuine Spanish cedar, smells good. When I open this up, I've had people reach out to me. I mean, as recent, honestly, as earlier today, and they said, "Tim, I'm getting a NeedOne unit, and I'm excited. What do I need to look out for?" And I tell pretty much all of them, especially if they ask about the plasticky smell or any of that. I don't have a plastic smell in this one. I haven't had it in any of mine. I know that people have reached out and said, "Yeah, I have a little bit of a plastic smell," and they do the newspaper trick overnight, or they do the baking soda trick, or different things like that. There are ways to help mitigate and, I guess, remove that factory plastic odor. I don't smell that inside here. I smell the Spanish cedar as soon as I open up the door. As I mentioned a second ago, I really like how they have put a bigger light in this unit. The previous units, like I mentioned, had sort of like an oval, almost like half golf ball kind of um, dome or globe like light that was in the top. And it worked for the top shelf, but it wasn't effective in the way that it could have been. And so with this unit, and this 23 liter is the wood grain. They also do have an 8 liter that they've come out with. Both of those models both have this upgraded light that is nearly the entire width of the ceiling of the humidor, and probably a couple inches or so deep into it, so that you have more light to go around inside your humidor. I absolutely love that feature. So like I've mentioned, this is the 23-liter unit. There is an 8-liter unit as well that has the new light in it, and some of these new features that I so far really, really enjoy. I'm looking forward to getting this filled up. I need to go through the regular process just like you would, and I need to make sure that I season this properly. Now, the tray that comes with it, you all have seen me use the little gel beads time and time again in seasoning multiple different humidors on my channel. I'm going to go through the exact same process with this humidor, and then I'm going to use Integra Boost. So they make smaller packages, larger ones, and it's a plant-based gel product that's absolutely phenomenal. I know that I have used it for at least a couple years in multiple different humidors, and it works very well. I'm going to exclusively be using that, at least for now, in this humidor, because they seal so well. Um, but you've heard me talk about all the features. You heard me talk about this, and you're going, "Tim, yeah, okay, it's another humidor, but where can I check it out more?" there's a link down below on Amazon where you can go and check it out for yourself. I do have a discount code for all of you, for my subscribers, to go and check it out and use that discount code. Save a little bit of money for yourself. If you're looking to get into the thermoelectric humidor world, NeedOne really does a phenomenal job of offering a multitude of different sizes, whether you're doing the 8 liter, which is about an 80 cigar holder, 75 to 80 cigar holder, to this one, which is the 23 liter, which is about 150 cigar holder. Now that's respective based off of the different sizes, of course. But these are great units to check out. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to season it myself, just like I've told all of you to do, just like the instruction manual does, all of that. Fill it with distilled water just a little bit in the bottom of that little tray. And again, it's just distilled water, nothing else, no mineral water, no tap water, nothing else, bottled water, nothing else, just distilled water. And let that sit in there for, the user manual says, a couple days. Personally, from my experience, I would leave it in for about a day, maybe a day and a half. You're going to see the humidity jump up and spike. That's what it's done in every single one of these units that I've had. And I pull out the water tray, and then I put in the cigars. And I put in the cigars when it's usually at about like 75-80% humidity. And I do that intentionally because all the cigars that are going in there, their collective humidity and everything that's going on, some of that is going to be absorbed. Some of that's just going to dissipate right when you open the door. And so fill it up with cigars, at least about 60% to capacity, and just let it go. See where it regulates. I would highly recommend not just using the hygrometer that's in the tray, the bottom shelf tray, but getting a digital one. They're all over Amazon. I'll link the one that I use down below as well. And get one of those and take sort of an average. I talked with someone back probably about a month ago that got a unit, was all excited about it, and they said, Tim, how do I know where I'm at? And so I just said, you know what, go, like I just said, use the one that's in there and go get one that you know is dependable enough. Put it in a Ziploc bag with one of your, humidity pouches that's 69% or 72. See where it reads. And if it's within a couple percentage points relative humidity, basically, how to calibrate that. Okay, I'm reading 3% over, or whatever it may be. Then just take an average of the two, the built-in hygrometer and the one that you put in there, or just use the one that you put in there on your own. They're only a few dollars. So that's what I would recommend doing. That's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to season it. I'm going to put cigars in it. I'm going to go through that whole process. But I really like this. I like the wood grain. The black ones are very classy, very elegant, but the medium brown, sort of like oak wood grain on this, I think is really sharp looking. And so let's go through a couple of the pros. The light inside is better. Is it all the way around? No, it's not, but it's better than it was. Another pro, clear glass. Absolutely love that. Probably the biggest pro in this unit compared to their previous generation and those models is the clear glass. Flexibility with the trays and the shelves, I absolutely love that. It's been that way in all of the units that I've checked out from NeedOne, and it's no surprise that they kept that the same. It just creates a lot of flexibility and makes it very easy to use and adjust the way that you want to. It is on the slender end, so one of the cons I would say is not a huge con, but it is reality, is any of the larger cigar boxes. So if you've got a box of Toros or Churchills, they're probably not going to fit in the box in this unit directly. You're going to have to take them out as singles. But any of the Robustos or Coronas or anything like that, I've put different boxes in, slide them in sideways. Yeah, I've tipped them a couple different times to fit in when my other humidors have gotten, pretty much full. But boxes do fit in this, definitely the smaller ones. If you've got a box of Robustos and it's a 20 count box and it's not a big, thicker wood one, but a decent size one, average size, smaller average size, it'll fit right in, no problem whatsoever. I've got boxes in my other NeedOne units that I've got here that are just as wide as this one, and they fit in, no questions whatsoever. So again, the link is down below. Go and check this out for yourself. There is a discount code, and if you check it out, if you buy it, when you buy it, come back and let me know. Let me know how you seasoned it. Did you do it differently than I did? What was the big selling perk for you? Honestly, there are so many wood grain desktop humidors out there that going from the wood grain desktop and that sort of classy elegance to a thermoelectric black, mini refrigerator cabinet or mini refrigerator box style, for some people isn't aesthetically what they want. Having this wood grain finish or wrap on it, I think, is a great way to get up to that next level, to hold more cigars, to have them be sealed tight, to have the Spanish cedar trays, to have the brighter light, to have all those different things. There are a lot of positives and pros with this unit, but let me know what your deciding factor was on it. I would love to get your take on it. Ask me questions if it's about seasoning. If it's about, do I need to rotate my, cigars in there? If it's, what do I do for humidity after it's been seasoned? Do I keep using, humidity pouches, whether it's Integra Boost, whether it's Boveda, whatever it may be? Do I use active humidification in a cigar oasis? Whatever your questions are, shoot them my way. I'd love to help you get your humidor set up, or just help answer any questions that may help you decide that you need one. You see that there? Load that right in. But to the team at NeedOne, I greatly appreciate you sending this unit out my way for me to check out, for me to give my honest evaluation of, to talk about its features, but to talk about why I like it, and why I think this is the next step up in terms of equipment and what you are doing as a company. There are some improvements that have been made based on feedback that I gave that I'm sure others have given as well. And so I look forward to using this, and I'm sure it is going to be as stable and rock solid as the other units that I have here in my studio. But I greatly appreciate being considered as part of your voice. So thank you to the team from NeedOne for sending this unit out. And yeah, if you're in the market for a thermoelectric humidor and everything that I said here and talked about and all of that makes sense to you, go check this out. Code's down below, the link's down below. But above all else, whether you get one of these humidors or not, I think you should. Above all else, enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you.